Bahamas because what we now have is a young man who was killed by an off duty police officer. And the facts are that it seems to be a very suspicious killing. The Americans have difficulties with that, as anyone would have in the following circumstances as we read it. And so on this Tuesday, we begin to talk about so many things here with us today, because the truth be told, my friends, these are serious and compelling times for the Bahamas. We've got shootings, traffic accidents that claim the lives of many people. We've got murders that claim the life of an American and a Bahamian by two off-duty officers. You have to ask yourself a question: what is really happening with our police force? It's a serious question. It's not to be poked fun at. These are some serious times and a call for some serious considerations. Off-duty police officers and their victims are dead. We have a lot to think about. We also have a very sobering and complex immigration problem. You heard me say it's the biggest elephant in the room, but nobody's listening. Maybe all of these things are now coming to a head because of the anxiety of a nation in crisis for an election. When you're anxious, all kinds of things happen carelessly. And that's the reason why I believe there's so many things happening. Women thrown off their cars when the police came for their cars. A woman was sitting on her car and she was raising hell. She feels victimized. The police got up and jumped on her car and threw her off on the ground. Bam, that's it. Another woman, female. Is there any respect for the female in our country? She was being considered to be placed under arrest, it seemed to me, from the videotapes that I saw. But the policeman, he actually pulled her clothes off her. It made me cry to see that this morning. I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I cried. You know why? I felt that. Somebody's mother. The little young girl is sitting right there. And she had to take all of that. Something is wrong. Political anxiety is wrong with the Bahamas right now. Too many things are happening all at once. I want to bring you into a sobering atmosphere today because of the many things that we must discuss. This is a matter of great discussion that we now have to go into because of the situation that we now face in our country. One where others are coming into our country to vote in our elections when they know full well that they're not supposed to vote in our elections because they cannot renounce in our elections and they cannot have any voting rights because they're not citizens of our country. It presents a huge dilemma for the people of this country. And so the crossfire is happening in between here, there, and everywhere because everybody seems to be on the edge. I pray for all of us that we stay safe, we mind our own business, we must not get into any nonsense at all. I pray for all of our leaders because these are some sobering times. Indeed, serious and compelling times to be alive and to see what is actually happening before our very eyes. We have to take stock of some things, and stock taking must happen from the leadership onward. It has to begin at the leadership level so that we may understand what the complexion of the leadership is all about, and then we can join hands with the leadership and support what the leadership is offering for the actual evaluation and the permanent situation for a country like ours. We're too small for it. We've got to take control of it. I say those things to you today because there's so many things that are going on actually in our country. Sometimes we cannot make heads or tails from the whole situation. We have a political party called the Coalition of Independence, COI, and they want to take control of this country. That's their right. They are a due political party to take control and bring some sense to the madness of our country. The Free National Movement wants to take control of this country, and that is their right. They have the sense to go and pursue that right. And the PLP wants to also take control of this country. Not that they don't have control, but control needs to be seen that they have control. But right now, a lot of things are not in control. We have to call it as we see it. And that's why today I'm offering you another chance at this whole matter of our immigration crisis. It is a crisis. It's a crisis that extends to the border of whatever country, including America. And because of those things, tensions are flaring. Imagine somebody being shot and killed, an American shot and killed in our midst just because he went to pick up somebody to take him home. That is what the story is, you know. These are serious and compelling times. Another man, a Bahamian, 43 years old, thereabouts, shot and killed after the officer who was off duty opened his firearm and hit him, killed him dead. Why? Some altercations they had from a bear fest that happened on Sunday. Allegedly, this person had attacked the officer and had hit him with a cutlass. The officer is said now to be in hospital nursing injuries, but the man who had been killed was killed by the officer, dead. What is life? Life is very important. So all kind of people are now crying and hollering. It is just heartrending. But see, we have to be big enough to rise above all this. As journalists, people who care, people who have compassion, people who understand things, people who want to see good in the country. Our country is going down. We must stop it. We, the Bahamian people, must stop it. The only way that we can stop this thing from going down and sinking with us all on board is to change some situations. And I did say change some situations. If these people are not working properly, you've got to change them. Am I clear? If they are working properly and you don't want to change them, you got to make them adjust to the changes that you would like to see happen. But for right now, it's anybody's guess. And that's why Lincoln Bain is here with me today. He's going to talk with us about the elements and the things that are in our midst that we've got to get rid of. We've got to get rid of it. And I'm not even talking yet but land and things like that. I'm just doing the bare essentials of the things that are really hitting at us with all the fists that it can hit. And we ain't responding. It's hitting at the Parliamentary Registration Department. It's hitting at you as a voter. It's hitting at the people who are running the public domain, people who are trying to fascinate themselves and get involved with this politics. This is a dangerous thing that we're dealing with. We've got to come clean and be honest and speak the truth and show some integrity. That is what's going to help us out. And we've got to also pray. We got to pray because our country is in a mess. Those of you who can't see it don't want to see it. You just don't want to see it. But this country is in a mess. The biggest mess I've ever seen for this country is now. I've never seen this before. And I'm older than most of you all. This country is in a mess. And that's why I'm thankful for Lincoln Bain has been sent to these people at this time. God knows what to do in circumstances like this. He will send somebody. He will send a delivery boy. He did it before. He's doing it again. Pay attention. We need the help. He knows that. Everything is all messed up because of corruption. The policy of corruption. It is an unwritten policy, but everybody is basically corrupt in this town called the Bahamas. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but I got to be real with you. Because if I'm not real with you, I would have not done my job. I must be real with you. There are too many foolish things that are going on. And we got to get sober and serious about this. So I'm going to talk with Lincoln Bain today, and I want you to lend him your ear. Say a prayer for him, because what they are going through right now in the COI party is a very, very difficult task. He has to try to unseat this particular government that's in place. That's a tall order. A tall order. Don't believe that that's not a tall order. That's a tall order. And this particular administration is not going to go down just like that. Listen to what I'm saying to you today. Because at the end of the day, you have yourselves to blame for anything that is not in the right operation for the basic glory to God. He wants to help us. I've been talking with him. He wants to help us. And because he wants to help us, you got to help yourself first. There are some things that you must do in order to help the situation for all of the children down the road in the future, for all the great grandchildren who you ain't see yet. You got to do some things as well. So, with that, I introduce to you today Lincoln Bain with me on the show. And we're going to talk about many things that are happening here in our town. Good afternoon, Mr. Bain. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, my brother. I'm great. How are you doing?
All is well. Sometimes a
Awesome.
little depressed, but at the same time, I'm still happy because I know that we shall win because we are confident in the victory of good over evil. And good is always successful over any evil,
Amen.
no matter where it comes from.
Amen.
So that's how I'm feeling today. But I've got a series of questions and stuff, and I want the Bahamian public to join me in the questions today. They can ask any question they want to, because this is a very sobering conversation. And I need your, of course, I expect your honesty, and I need you to speak to the nation on these matters of interest. First and foremost, what are we looking at as we look down procedures of the upcoming general elections? And by what are the things that we all should be cognizant of at this time, Mr. Bain? What are the things that we really should be mindful of in everything that we are dealing with right now on this topic of immigration and the morality of what's supposed to happen in a sovereign country like the position on the whole matter? So,
Our country is in a detrimental crisis as it relates to immigration. There are many states and countries that have been taken over due to immigration. Fiji is one of them. Florida is one of them, being a state. We saw what happened to Utah being taken over. That wasn't necessarily immigration, but it was one group of people that decided to flood an entire area. And we're sitting back and watching it happen, and we're doing nothing. Our leaders have been complicit over many years. There was a time under a previous Perry Christie administration where they were arresting illegals, for political purposes. They wanted to look like they were doing well. You had the FNM decrying them, saying that, defending the illegals basically during that time. This was when Fred Mitchell was leader of immigration, you'll remember.
Yes.
Um,
2014 thereabouts.
yes. After that, the Minnis administration took over, and what he did was pretend to be interested in taking down shanty towns when they weren't arresting any illegals. They weren't going into shanty towns and arresting them. They appeared to have some side deal with Fred Smith to say that we're going to go out here and we're gonna say these people have until December 31st to leave, and we're gonna say that we're gonna break down shanty towns, but we need you to take it to court so that we could use the court as an excuse not to do anything. And that seems to be what the deal was. And we can come to that conclusion because even after the court said that, no, you can't break down the shanty towns, even if the persons are illegal, they didn't appeal it. That means that that's the decision they really wanted. And they bamboozled all of us because that was just the Supreme Court. That was Cheryl Grant Thompson. And they could have gone to the appeals court right away and had that removed, or they could have gone then to the Privy Council, but they didn't. Um, Also, we saw that they were told that they couldn't break down the shanty towns, but they didn't. They weren't going in there and arresting the illegals, and we kept bringing that to the attention of the Bain public. And because we were going and letting people know what was going on while the government was pretending, the FNM was pretending that there was no proliferation of shanty towns, even after the Dorian happened.
Very true.
Yeah, they were pretending that nothing was really happening, and they put it in the headlines of papers. So we had to jump on the plane, spend our money, and go over to Abaco and show them, look at how they're building up. And eventually, they acknowledged it. We went over to, and I want you to pay attention to the fact that it was the FNM and PLP working together. The immigration problem started with FNM and FNM oligarchs who wanted to bring illegal immigrants over to Abaco to work the farms. And it spread throughout the whole Bahamas. And so the oligarchs like the cheap labor, it gives them profit. And so they have been the ones behind this thing a lot. And we saw that the Philip Brave Davis administration came in power, and he appeared to spread the word that he is one of them. We got that word. I did a live all the way from with someone in Haiti, and their message was that everyone would start coming to the Bahamas. This was in September 2021, right after the election, days after. We saw them start flooding the Bahamas. Remember that? They were flooding in Agua. We thought they were going to sink in Agua. And the word on the street in Haiti was that you could pay $8,000 for a visa, and you could come because the prime minister of the Bahamas is a Haitian. That was the word on the ground. And we saw them flooding and flooding, and we had to jump on the plane and go to Nago and demand that the government send these people back. We had to fight. We've been fighting, Steve. We've been fighting. We had to go and file for commission of inquiries, ignored. We had to go and protest. We were assaulted and locked up because we wanted to go and give a bill to all of the parliamentarians. And in fact, the police officer who was recently in a video assaulting a woman and beating her was one of the same officers who dragged me, rammed my head to the car, and assaulted me as they put me in the car and attempted to knock down Cara Ellis. All right. They drove the car into her. She wasn't even a part of our protest. She was just walking past. And that same officer who is now in that video is the officer.
The video I saw today.
Yes, the video with the woman where
woman,
outside he was punching her, and then inside, they showed the bruises, etc., on her, and he was arresting her. That's the same officer. That was a part of that, and in fact,
is he a high-ranking officer or is he a constable? What is he?
I don't know his rank. He's definitely either a constable, a sergeant, or corporal. But I think he's a constable. And I'm for those watching on my Facebook page, I'm showing you his face, and this is the same officer that that drove the car into Cara Ellis. And this is the same officer, when they were lifting me at the House of Assembly, they literally swing my head and into the back of my head into the car. Um, and he's back again in the public eyes. So I just wanted to say that. Now, and we believe that he is of Haitian descent. All right. And he can tell us otherwise, but that's the information that we got. In any event, we fought this government. They were also pretending that there was no illegal immigration problem. They were like, what shantytown problem? That was the headline in the papers. And we had to again use our money, jump on the planes, and show the Bahamian people that this thing is getting out of hand. The flights started filling up. The boats were coming, and then the flights started coming. They found out that, listen, you could just pay and get on a flight. $8,000. So we asked the government. We went to protest. We asked the government, how are they getting the documents to get a work permit if Haiti's government is shut down? Who are they getting the documents from? And we made it clear that this is skullduggery going on. Even while Haiti's government was shut down, our embassy stayed open. All other embassies were closed. And then they said they were bringing our people back home, but they still had persons in Haiti who was responsible for the embassy still there to make sure these people got straight. This was a money-making situation, in my opinion, based on what we're seeing. And we fought them, Steve. They increased the flight to 3 flights instead of 2. 140 plus or somewhere around there. 3 times a week. That's just Bahamas Air. The other flights go every day to Haiti. The smaller planes, back and forth every day, several times. And no one is paying attention to that. Several times. They're going not full, coming back full. No one going, but everyone coming. That's a problem, Steve.
So they were basically invading the Bahamas in words that we can say on the air, because really the truth is, if they're going now, they're empty from here and coming back with planes and planes and planes full, then we have an invasion that's been going on for quite a number of years.
Yes.
And that is where we are basically right now. And look at what has happened. As a result of this invasion, many other things have happened in the meantime. That is, they were able to renounce. They are now able to renounce, even though there's no such thing as renouncing from Haiti. And they were able to get registered to vote in our election, even though the Bahamian people were made aware that there's no such registration for them. And then the parliamentary commissioner, who happens to be Mr. Thompson, he says that he turned back many of them who, in fact, were not able to read parts of the proclamation to be able to be here in the Bahamas because they couldn't speak the English. But many of them were, in fact, allowed to be here in the Bahamas, and they don't speak the English either. And yet people are saying, that's when the story came out, that everybody is in Bahamas and they can't speak an ounce of English. And then that word got out, and we began the investigations. And based on those investigations, we found out now what everyone is finding out, that you have a fast track of people who are here with illegal documents, illegal passports, illegal this, illegal that, illegal birth certificates, illegal national insurance cards, all kinds of stuff happening. And it's like the whole system is now crumbling right before our eyes, and we can't make any sense out of it. And no one in the governing party or the opposition party, the official opposition, is making any such claim to say contrary what those reports are. In other words, they're saying, we don't know what you're talking about. And they just been denying and denying and denying. Now it has come out where the young man at the office of the passport information says that they only arrested 98 persons who had fraudulent passports. while Michael Pintard had said that there were going to be 200 and some 250,000, 250 of them who were supposed to have been arrested. The man came back and said, listen, no, but he don't know what he's talking about because we only arrested 98. See, just one incident over the threshold of what the numbers were is too much for the Bahamian people. And so everyone is now
98.
up. Yeah, everybody's now up in arms.
98 is a
It's just
serious indictment.
it's a crazy
Because if
thing.
you caught 98, that tells you how much there is.
Hmm.
Because how many did you not catch?
Yeah.
That's the problem. It could be 10 times that. It could be 100 times that. How many of them did you not catch? Because if they got those original documents from someone at the passport office, Steve, that's a problem. How come you're not arresting the person that sold it to them? How come you're not doing sting operations the way the drug enforcement unit would do sting operations and set people up? That means you want this happening. Why don't you sting operations like they did for the mafia in New York? There are no sting operations, there are no investigations. How did you get 98 and you couldn't get one to say where they got the documents from? People scary. You could make a deal with them, a plea deal, to say, we'll let you off. This is a serious fraud incident. If you go to jail, we can send you for a decade. We can lose you in jail. Now, they want to be able to go and work to send money back home. So they don't want to be in jail for 10 years. So you tell them, we'll turn you into a crown witness. Tell us who gave you the document. That's how they do it. They do it right now in drug cases, etc. Why they ain't doing it in passport cases? Because they don't want to know. They want this to continue.
Why would they want it to continue? This is a detriment to the Bahamian people,
But
to the Bahamian way of
it's
life.
big money to them. They don't care what is detriment to the Bahamian people. Many things that they benefit from financially is a detriment to the Bahamian people. They don't care. They kill the farming industry, the agricultural industry, and they're importing for export only food, poison food, mutant fruits, and it's a detriment to us. Cancer is on the rise. They're killing Bahamians. They don't care. They're making money from that. Okay? The fact that we don't have a proper hospital is a detriment to the Bahamian people. They don't care because they make money from you having to get private services from them. They don't care what's a detriment to us. Us having to pay high light bills and getting unreliable electricity is a detriment to us. You think they care?
This is why I'm saying that it is so very important that people listen to you intently today, because everything rolls into one big situation. In other words, healthcare is as important as immigration. It's as important as crime on the police force. It's as important as murder cases that's been happening in our country. Everything is just all heaped up together and making one big bundle for us to deal with and to carry at this particular time. Now, when you talk about healthcare and all those other things, including land and all the kind of stuff, land resources and the rest of it, that we have not been doing, we have lost our mark. We don't understand anymore what is really in the best interest of the Bahamian people. I believe, Mr. Bain, that that should always be the chief point of our operations as politicians. We must know what the Bahamian people really want, and we must service those things that they really want. Now, I'm asking you this question very succinctly today. How about yourself getting elected to the high office of leadership in this country and carrying out the duties as the people of the Bahamas would like you to be seen to be carried out, would like to be seen, like you to be seen to be carried out in this country? What are some of those things that you have on the agenda that has the urgency now of do it right now, today? Because the Bahamian people are very desperate right now.
The first thing we must do is get immigration under control. It's affecting everything, and I'm going to fix it. Once we become the government, I'm going to be the Minister of National Security and Immigration. And so we know that I can fix this. I've been fighting for this. I have a passion for this. And if you want to see this thing corrected, you cannot look to the FNM or the PLP. Pintard was working for Fred Smith. He admitted that. He was working for Fred Smith, working along with Fred Smith and Louis Georges and others who were defiling this country by fighting the deportation of illegal immigrants and fighting the demolition of shanty towns. Now they want us to forget that, and they want to pretend that they are interested in immigration. Steve, I heard the campaign launch, and I listened to the opposition talk about what they're going to do for immigration. And you know what his big plan was?
No, tell me.
His big plan was that he said there will be no pathway to citizenship if you come here illegally. He said, and his minister of shadow minister of immigration, or former, no, they don't have that. Their former immigration minister, Ezra Johnson, said nothing about arresting these people, bringing them to justice in the courts, giving them hard labor, and sending them back home. Nothing about what they're going to do to end this problem. Some nonsense about some shield plan they probably got from ChatGPT that says nothing about arresting and detaining these people, going on the workplaces and collecting them, punishing the workplaces for employing them, going into their homes and arresting them, charging anyone who would allow them to live in their apartments. They said nothing about cleaning this country up. I don't want Bahamians to be fooled. We forget so easily. Michael Pintard, Fred Smith, and the rest of them, the people he works with, issued a book with lies about the Bahamian immigration department. Now you want them to vote for you? They put pictures in that book of a little girl, her skin all tear up and bleeding, and made it seem like that's what our immigration department did. They made our immigration sound like monsters. That was wrong. That's treasonous. I will never let Michael Pintard, Fred Smith, and Louis Georges live that down. That's what you went to the other countries and portrayed of our hard-working immigration officers trying to defend this country. And I'm on a mission to bring justice for them. Pintard, we ain't forget you. You are a treasonous person. This is just reality. And so they showed our immigration officers with dogs biting people, bloodied women, etc. And they were scenes from other countries, not the Bahamas. And the scene with the little girl, I'm told, was a car accident that had nothing to do with immigration. How could they do this, man? How could Bahamians vote for them? I don't blame them. They're doing what they should benefit from. I blame anyone who would support them after that treasonous act against our country. I believe in this country. I don't think anyone should embarrass this nation. We have to stand up for what is right. I don't want people being fooled to think that if you put Brent Sim in that party there, that anything is going to change with immigration. He was the minister of immigration. And he bragged about how much passports he was selling every week. He literally bragged about it. You heard him say that after this Haitian immigrant who brutally kidnapped, killed, and raped that little girl. You heard what he said? He said it would be inhumane to deport him after he finishes his sentence. This the man who financing and running the FNM and running Pintard. Don't be fooled, Bahamas. Bahamas, you did not listen to Loftus Roker. Listen to me. Don't be fooled by the FNM and PLP. This country needs a shake-up. This is the last election that we will be the majority. After that, majority rules. This is
Because
majority rule 2.0. If we don't win this, it's going to be a majority rule 2.0, but it won't be for Bahamians. A different group of people are going to outnumber us. We're not outnumbered in terms of citizenship now. But by the next election, all those who came in with those fraudulently received work permits are going to legally be qualified. Not legally because they're getting it through that national
Nationality Act,
nationality act.
which is
But
false.
technically, based on the way the system is now,
Mhm.
they will legally be able to get citizenship unless the COI gets in. Because once we get in, there will be no more naturalizations. That will be it. We will protect our nation. If you are not a Bahamian when you're born, meaning one of your parents is Bahamian, you will never become a Bahamian. And I'm saying that unapologetically. It's time for us to defend this nation. I met a lot of young men came to Pinewood headquarters today. I was shocked. A lot of young men in Pinewood. All of them are skilled. Carpenters, electricians, plumbers, painters. And all of them have one thing in common. They said there's nothing out there for them to do. Because they try, they apply everywhere, they go to sites, they do everything. But the Haitians are getting all the jobs. I'm not against Haitians. But man, this is our country, man. This one for us.
Do you think that we've missed that point? That this one is for us and should be about Bahamians who are wanting to be employed and do these things that they want to do and they are capable of doing. Why do you think we've missed the boat on this whole thing? Is it really that money? Is money that important to them that we can't even help to develop a country that's ours and that we can rebuild this country that's really ours and become the owners and the people who are really running this country? How come we're being left out? How come everything is just in our face like there's nothing, no hope for us? Are we a forgotten people? I want to ask that to not only you, but to all the politicians in this country today. Are we a forgotten people? What is wrong with our people? How come the politicians are not speaking to these issues? And these issues are very, very urgent issues of a matter of course that we've got to deal with. How come no one's talking about them?
If a person of Bahamian descent or a Bahamian becomes the president of a university in America, all of a sudden you're going to start to see a lot of Bahamians go in there. They're going to look out for their people.
Yes.
They're going to say, you know what, Bahamians, y'all come in this institution, man. Get your education. They can look out for their people. That's natural. Nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with anyone who's looking out for their people. The Haitian man who's looking out for his children, his future generations, I have no problem with him doing what he's doing. But I have a problem with the Bahamian man who will sit there and let someone else take what's for your children and eat it and possess it and kick you off your land. I have a problem with that. So, one of the biggest problems we have from the first example is that when we start to allow our House of Assembly to be occupied by people of other descents, um, what do you think they're going to do? They have a little affinity to make sure we got to get our people straight, man. They are people too. Yeah, that's what they're going to say. We're going to get them straight, man. Yeah, let's make this money too. That's what they're going to say. And so when you have a prime ministers who have had foreign descents, maybe that's why it has never been important to be Bahamian. It's never been important to push our culture, to push it on the radio, to push it, around the world. Maybe that's why it's never been important to push our culture. Being a Bahamian wasn't the key thing, you know? And so When you have Philip Brave Davis, who's going to stand up in a shanty town, and this is another treasonous man, and he only Pintard, that's treason to show affinity to any other government, to any other people, to any other nation,
while being the Prime Minister of the Bahamas.
while being a Bahamian. And so to have the Prime Minister stand up in front of those people and says that his loyalty is to them, he's never said that to us. That he is one of them, and they are him, and he is them. And he's always looked out for them, and he always will, Steve.
But he's getting away with it. I mean, he said those things. He admittedly said those things. Everyone is playing them on the tape all the time. And people are still trying to deny that he said those things. Well, it's just poppycock. We don't know that. But the point is, he never stepped away from it and say, well, I didn't say those things, that they misquoted me. Nothing. It is what he said, and it's what he said, and that's what he said, and that's that. Apparently, nobody is challenging him on these matters. Not even the church, not even the business people, not even the people who have all their monies invested in various organizations around this place need to see that the man should be talking something else other than catering to a group of people. Nothing wrong with him loving people. The point is, you're the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. You got to act right and think right, Chief. That's your first mission. I mean,
I respect all people. I love my Bahamian
what's
people.
happening?
All right. For those who
let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dancing. Because I always be and share with you. Because you are me and I am you. And I'll be here with you always. And those who knew me from the past and know me now, they always knew that I was there and always been there for you. I don't call you all, no, you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian, and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later. You know now.
Are you all ready? And
that is the most disgusting thing I have ever heard. If I hear the Haitian president come to the Bahamas and say those things to Bahamians, I will say that's disgusting because you're supposed to be for Haitians. If the American president, if Trump comes to the Bahamas and says, I can look out for y'all, not the Bahamian, not the Americans, I can be there for y'all. To stand up and defend the Bahamas over America, I would say that is disgusting.
But how come, very soberly, how come our people have not latched on to this whole concept?
I don't want you to think that Bahamians are asleep. I don't want you to think that he's gotten away with this. I heard you say that. Bahamians speak at the polls. We're not a in-your-face fighting people. We're not a protesting nation.
Understood.
The Bahamians are waiting to show him at the polls. I believe that with all my heart because almost every Bahamian has a child that they have to leave in this country. And your sons and daughters already can't find a job. Can you imagine the two of these parties, Pintard, who's also of Haitian descent, we keep asking him for his birth certificate. We keep not getting it. I got mine. And Henry Bain and William A. Poitier on them. All right? Bahamians of Bahamian descent. And we're told that this great woman, this Laura Benson, adopted him. It's a noble deed. Don't hide it. The media needs, when they question, to ask him about this. We have a right to know. He's hired by us. He's the leader of the opposition. We're paying him big money. And so we need to know. Just like if you go for a job, they're going to ask you for your documentation so they can know who's working for them.
Exactly.
Just bring your birth certificate, Pintad. Simple as that. Why is it taking so long? Because we can't find it nowhere. But we were told that he's adopted and his original birth mother is Haitian. And so he could easily disprove that and we can move on to something else. But now when you have the leader of the opposition is Haitian and Haitian descent, the prime minister saying that he is one of them, he's of Haitian descent, well, what's that for us? We should always have an example for our children to aspire to, our Bahamian children, for them to look up and say, see, that's a Bahamian. That's what you can rise to if you do well, if you have the ambition to. We should have examples for our children. But they have examples for theirs. You see Pintar trying to brush off his past by saying, he was, a little troublesome boy in school, etc., etc. Well, if you're saying all that, why don't say who your birth mother is? Why don't you say what's your origin? And then let us decide. And there's some people who don't see the symbolism of having other people at the top of our nation as a problem. They don't see Alfred Sayers is also Haitian, right? Because his mother is Haitian. Now, I don't know if he renounced. I don't know what the situation is there. I don't know if they were married, so he don't have to. But easily the Minister of Immigration.
He is presently now. The
Yes,
of course,
he is
moving on.
And so it's time for us to get this country together. We're going to lose it. They are slowly taking us over, like how you boil a frog. Nothing against Haitians, But I got to get my people
We have to
straight.
face the reality of things. That's what you're talking about.
Because
today.
there's a takeover.
We have to face the reality of
You
things.
see, there wouldn't have been as much of a problem if they were coming here to work and weren't interested in our elections.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they getting these papers and passport and going straight for voters card, Bahamians better wake up.
They're taking over. That's what they're doing. Whether they know it or not, they're taking over.
Bahamians, y'all don't have to listen to me. You could put on your red shirt and you could think that Pintard and Branson and them could check for you after this election. That's on you. But let me tell you one thing. If you let the PLP stay, if you let the F&M come back, when you see it starting to happen, don't cry. Just take it. Don't cry for jobs.
You can't take that.
Don't cry for your children.
You cannot.
Don't cry. You just sit down and you take it because you let it happen. I know these are strong words, but I must say this. You make up your bed, you lie in it. If you love party over country and you let that party come in to destroy this country and let us be taken over by illegal immigrants, you just sit there and you take it. Don't cry because this is your one and only opportunity.
No one else is saying that to the Bahamian people, but so that's why they perhaps going around the mulberry bush saying, we second party and that's that me. See, we have to take this thing sober, serious, and look at it for what it really is. If we don't do what we are required to do at this time, and the country needs you, the country needs all of us now. The country needs us to stand up as patriots. The country needs us to stand up as people who want to be counted in the future generations of this country. Otherwise, all that we are doing right now is useless. No one remembers it, no one cares about it, and we're going to have a rogue nation eventually. I tell you that.
Someone had an interest.
Rogue nation.
We will. Someone had an interesting comment on Facebook just now. They said, "Lincoln, isn't your wife Haitian?" No. The answer is no. Um, I'm divorced actually. All right, like most Bahamians. Um, and no, very Bahamian. I love Bahamians. I love Bahamian women. All right, don't mix me up with Brave. I love Bahamians. I love Bahamian women. All right. Um, Someone else said, "Lincoln, you're Haitian. You're of Haitian descent." No, I could trace my lineage back to Africa and back to Europe, Scotland, and on the other side back to France. And so I know my lineage perfectly. Well, I'm an investigator, so trust me, I know me, every part of me. Um, and being Haitian is not a problem. It's just that in our country, Bahamians should be put first, and the Haitians should come here to work for us. Simple as that. All right. The Filipinos should come here to work for us. The Europeans should come here to work for us. Right? Everyone else should come here to work for us, and we should own this country. That's what it is. We just don't like illegal immigration. But the Filipinos are not going on the news and saying all Filipinos vote for PLP or vote for
You don't
FNM.
see that.
They're not doing that. The Chinese are not doing that. They're not interfering. I have never seen a Chinese on the line to vote. I've never seen that. All right. Maybe you've seen it, but
No.
I have not seen it. All right. They're not trying to interfere with our democracy and the sovereignty of our nation. They're not trying to become us and to replace us. If you sit there and let them replace you and replace your children, then don't cry. You let it happen because you love your Grammy party. My Grammy was a PLP, so I'll be a PLP. And it doesn't matter
That's so foolish. I mean,
what they're doing.
Times have changed. Things are changing. The world is changing before us every day. You can't be something what somebody else was 10, 20 years, 15, 40 years. What's that all about? Listen, man, get with the times. Understand that times are changing. You've got to protect what little you do have now in order to get more of what you want to have in the future.
Yes.
That's what you got to be doing. You can't just be squandering it. He who fritters it away and wastes it all on all kind of things will lose it. You'll have nothing at the end of the day. And I guess the only way you can really put that in real sense, say a fellow wants to go to the bank and he then raises all kind of money on all kind of woman and thing and drugs and everything else. And he trying to get a home now. He want to settle down. He want to get a home. But he ain't qualified one lick. He can't get it. You know how he can't get it? He didn't blow it. See, you cannot fritter away your money. And that's like the nationality, the citizenship score. If we just keep on playing a game with it and nothing really matters to it, and we're not serious about it, we will lose it.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen at the end of the day if, in fact, we don't put on our thinking caps, get down to brass tacks and say, listen here, let me figure this out. I can't put this fella here because he bigoting, he ain't got no respect for us, he broke it into the country, he doing what he feel like doing, and we don't know how much of them here in the New Bahamas have come out of jail. They had 2 jailbreaks, you know. People forget these things. These are things that actually happened in Haiti. They came out of jail and they came to the Bahamas.
I did a live to show where these fellas live in.
I don't know if people understand what we're dealing with. And I don't know what Mr. Davis and company are dealing with if, in fact, you have people who are We don't know who they are. We don't know what they're capable of. We don't know who are the murderers and who are the sex offenders. We don't know who they are. They are among us. They look like us. They ran around here in the place, and here it is. What if they turn on us? What are we going to do then? I don't mean to cause any panic for nobody. I'm just saying to you, these are realities, you know. What
Yeah.
if they do, in fact, turn on us? What do you do?
They will.
What do you do?
They will. And so a fight is coming. It doesn't have to, because if we take over, we're going to protect our country. And so we have to be prepared for this. And we have to be prepared. As simple as that.
Yeah. Well, it's right now 21 past 6 o'clock. My goodness, I didn't see the time. But we've got people on the lines now calling. You can call me at 376-9234 or 821-9234. I think both those numbers are working now, so just give us a call. Let me take this call here. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Good afternoon, Person Bain, Mr. McKinney.
Yes, sir.
Bahamas. I don't have medical insurance. So if something happens to me, I have to go to Princess Margaret Hospital. And the PLP and FNM is allowing this illegal invasion. And when they allow all this the population to come here, what do you think will happen when you get sick one day and you go to the hospital? Is there going to be a bed for you? No, because there'll be too much population that they're allowing in uncontrollably to make that money. And instead of them trying to build that kind of hospital to take care of us when we get sick, beds, operating room, dialysis machine, they instead want to build a hospital, but in reality, that's a maternity ward they're building. Who are they building that for? Who is having kids in the Bahamas? Foreigners. They're giving our people citizenships away, and they're inviting them here, and we'll be flooded. You stand up, vote for Lincoln Bain. So when you get sick, there might be a bed for you one day. Please, thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. I appreciate it. And those of you who are trying to get me, it's 622. You can call me now at 376-9234 or 821-9234. Please limit your calls. We're only taking certain calls today, and we want to exhaust this conversation today so that Mr. Bain can get a full picture of what's going on in the country, and he can help us to understand more of it. Good afternoon, caller. How are you?
Good afternoon, and a special good afternoon to Mr. Lincoln Bain, the man who's going to save this country. I'm going to do a couple topics very swiftly so that everyone can have a chance.
No. We want two situations you can talk about today. That's my limit, and I'm going to move on.
What I'm saying, Africa with the citizenship. Loftus Roker said that he can give work permit, but not citizenship. The construction history in the Bahamas, the construction company in the old days was well managed by Bahamian people. You had Gilbert Colley, the Cargill brothers, and all of those, and mostly the construction workers came from Jamaica and Trinidad. They were masons and carpenters. When you look at it, the construction company back in the old days was mostly Bahamians. They wore their straw hats and all of that, and the Haitians were only into the farming thing. So this construction about people being lazy, that is just an excuse or an alibi not to do what needs to be done with the immigration situation. And back in the day, all Bahamian boys, they were carpenters, plumbers, masons, and whatever, and they had good training from the Cargill brothers and all the other people, Osprey and Winkle Construction and all that. So that's a smoke screen with the construction company. And Bahamians were not lazy. So that right there tells you that it's an unjustifiable reason why they want to flood the construction company with illegal immigrants. And that's all it is.
Thank you. Appreciate that call. Thank you, ma'am.
I just want to say that Bahamians were always good at construction. It's our thing. My grandfather was a well-known construction man. contractor in this country. He was Jeremiah Poitier, and he built almost all of the seawalls from that era.
Yeah.
He built the Cat and the Fiddle. It was supposed to be a part owner of that. But the seawalls in Paradise Island and other places, he built them, and he was well known for construction. The Haitians eventually got into there, and persons knew them for their bad work. You'll see the walls bent and warped and that kind of stuff in their masonry. And initially, that's what they were known for, their bad work. In Thailand, you could see it because they were guessing. But over time, Bahamians kept hiring them for cheap labor, and they eventually developed the skill. And now they are the contractors. They are getting the jobs, and they're hiring their own people. And that's a problem.
Let's talk about some other things today because we want to not only touch bases with the things about immigration and how this illegal immigration is getting the better part of all of us here in the Bahamas, but let's look at the actual health care of our nation. Health care is the
But
best.
Steve, before you go there, there's one issue we need to address, and that's this shooting that Brave Davis just responded to.
Yes.
And we really need to respond to that quickly.
The shooting of, you mean,
of the American,
yes.
all right, that Brave responded to.
Yes.
I want to say that there have been many shootings, police-involved shootings, other shootings, and we have not heard from the Prime Minister. But all of a sudden, the shooting happened, I think, from Saturday night.
Yes.
This is Tuesday. And because the American government put out a statement, all of a sudden the Prime Minister can respond. First of all, I want to say to Trump that he is doing the right thing by defending his people.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I will do under the COI. Wherever our people are in trouble, we will be there. We will look out for them. We will make sure any government knows that, hey, that's our people and they have backup. We don't care what they were a part of. That's our people. We had a recent incident in Haiti where some Bahamians were killed. They believed they were suspected of moving illicit materials, but you're innocent until proven guilty. But apparently the fellow was killed, and there's video to that effect. We should have brought our people back home. I would have gone for our people, sent for them, and brought them back home because that's our people. We need a government that's going to look out for Bahamians and Bahamians first. And that's what Trump was doing by making sure his embassy made a statement. But the statement that the Prime Minister made was very curious because in that statement, he seems to be saying that he wants to take guns from off-duty police officers because it is a rogue police officer. And the reason that's curious is because this government not only gave guns to off-duty police officers, but he's a senior officer. He's supposed to carry guns. I don't know how you're going to take that from him. He is Superintendent Pinder. Okay? And so they can't take guns from the senior officers. So the Prime Minister is talking to Hare himself. But first of all, he is saying that they now want to consider taking guns from them. But the Prime Minister, this administration, gave over 300 handguns, over 300, almost 400 handguns, and he can tell us the exact number, to all sorts of people, including people with previous records, criminal records. How could you do that? We were told that there were persons who were formerly charged with drugs and other stuff.
Yes.
We were told that they had to take one back from a fella because he used the gun on his wife. And so you're giving it to these people who have a history, and then you're giving it to all kinds of people. They paid, all kind of money, thousands of dollars. I heard up to $10,000 to get these guns from the government because they are people.
So he's talking to himself, basically.
So how do you take it from trained police officers when you have been giving it to untrained persons and persons with a history? And they can correct that and say whether that is right or wrong. They can say whether that is true or not. But that's the information that we have. And so almost 400 guns you gave to unqualified people? And so now you're talking to Hare yourself? No, that doesn't fly with me.
What do you think is going to happen as a result of the Americans losing another person And here it is now that we don't seem to know what to actually say on these matters anymore. I mean, our whole public relations is so bad. It's pathetic. We don't seem to know anything about what it is that we're supposed to be talking about in the first place. And I'm saying to you, how bad does that look for us, internationally speaking? A man comes in to work for Pike or whatever, BBC, Pike, yeah. And here it is, he's dead, leaves a wife who's pregnant, 4 months pregnant. She get a call that he's dead. I mean, listen, the Americans have every right to have that headline in the papers today. The Tribune says, U.S. calls for justice without delay. That's an accurate statement. That's a serious thing. It goes on and says stuff like, American embassy urges Bahamian police to work swiftly in probe of Pike worker fatal shooting by an off-duty police officer.
Normally, when police officers are involved in shootings, it goes to coroner's court.
Yes.
All right?
Mhm.
Because the officer is never really off duty. But it goes to coroner's court. Pindo was arrested right away. All right? He was arrested the same day. All right? So right away he was arrested. Now, we need all Bahamians to get justice in this way if there's wrongdoing. Not just someone who has a government behind them, and that government should be behind their people. But I wish our government would support our people and not stop supporting the foreigners. I'm not talking about the American in this case. I'm talking about these illegals that they're bringing here.
Yes.
I wish our government would stand up for us.
6:32 is the time right now. We've got calls on the telephone line. Good afternoon, caller. How are you?
How you doing, Steve?
All is well, sir.
Good day to you, Mr. Bain.
Good day, my brother.
Awesome. I mean, I read the release by the Office of the Prime Minister. This situation happened over the weekend. He just said something about it on Tuesday. How pathetic. A U.S. citizen getting killed by one of our police officers, that is a big deal.
It is.
How long they'll try to pivot or try to water it down. I just want the Bahamas know that we have reached a pivotal point in exposure.
Yeah.
I read a post by a civilian of the U.S. where they write how they felt to all of the news medias over there, and they are saying that they want answers on what the hell is going on in the Bahamas. So all this slacking off and all of this foolishness, and somehow he don't know what's going on. He never know what's going on. He always late to the party. This one is a black eye for this country, and we need someone in there who's coherent. We need someone there who's going to answer the phone at 2 a.m. in the morning to be briefed on the latest in real time. We don't need you to be finding over things like this 2-3 days later and you just get something to say after the embassy said something. We need to do something, Bahamas. If y'all don't think this isn't serious, and the U.S. ain't gonna let that slide like that. They want to see justice now.
I know.
Not next week. Not when you feel like you're gonna hold this one off. You're gonna pivot and hold this one. And they wait to see what's gonna happen. We need a serious leader in this country because we are going downhill and we are going downhill fast. Have a good day, Steve.
Thank you for your call. We are going downhill. We are going downhill fast, and the call is absolutely correct. America is not going to just slacken off and leave that alone.
And they
the
shouldn't.
headline alone says that to me this morning.
Yeah, they should defend their people. Steve, this is ironic because today I went to court for my gun case. Remember when I shot the gun in the air in the back of the bush?
Mm-hmm.
I'm suing the government. Just wanted to say that I am suing the government for that case, and of course, the case was pushed to after the election. So just updating my followers, the case was pushed
until after the election.
After the May election. Right now, yeah. All right, so they I mean, I can't. It's subsidy, so I can't talk about
Yeah,
either
I
side of it.
understand. Don't worry about it.
But I just wanted to update
We'll follow
persons
it when it's time for that
that
to be followed.
we are suing the government
Mhm.
for that incident. Um, how do you take my gun unlawfully and illegally, um, but you're giving away guns to all of these unqualified people? Me who's standing up for Bahamians, me who's never been convicted of any crime in this country. All right. I was in the police force. I was never even defaulted. They call that put up on a charge. That means if you're late, you're disorderly, or you did anything wrong, you get put up on a charge.
That never happened to
That
you.
never happened. I'm probably one of the only police officers that was never defaulted. All right. So there was never a discipline issue with me. I don't even think I ever had a ticket. All right. But you take my license guns when there are persons you are issuing handguns to that shouldn't have them. And now you're talking about taking
Hmm.
the guns of off duty senior police officers.
As I said, these are some serious and compelling times, man. We've got many issues in this town.
Yeah.
And we've got to get to these issues. One of those issues I want to get to, and I want to do this, perhaps when they come back, this whole healthcare issue.
Yeah.
We got to deal. We got to deal with that because too many people are getting sick, too many people are going to the hospital, and too many people are dying in the hospital just because nothing is happening for that hospital. And I know that Dr. Dowell is trying his best to fix some things, and I know he's been doing some things. I know that. But the point is this: it ain't good enough. This country needs serious change, and there's nothing I can say anything more. The country needs serious change. And we have to have the leaders of our country who are so sober and so committed to this serious change that we need. They need to get focused. They're not focused. They're not focused on the issues. They're just running around talking politics. Listen, I told them before, they might as well put this election date off. I know that sounds crazy, but let me tell you, they got until September to call an election. They don't have to call this right now. This country needs some cleaning up. We got to get some things in order. Because Lincoln being them can try to win anyway. And Michael Pinter them can try to win anyway. Listen, get this country corrected. Get this country in order. The police force is deplorable. We just got too many shootings happening there, too many murders happening, too many crazy things happening. This is the worst state that we've ever been in. And I know what I'm talking about. This is a bad situation for us. The man talked about the exposure that we have. Man, everybody's writing the Americans. When y'all gonna go inside there and deal with them fellas in the Bahamas? That's what they saying. Oh, I know the story. I don't want to talk that. Because my friend, let me tell you something. I know plenty things that you all don't know. And that's what puts me in a bad position because I have to just safeguard myself and safeguard our nation because I love this nation. And people just taking it for granted. Boy, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
So let me run and take a break, pay some bills, come back in a minute, and we'll continue right here on Hard Copy Live.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a commercial break. So, during the commercial break, it is going to be muted. So, you won't be able to hear what's going on in the studio. So, it's going to be about 2 minutes. So, we're going to be muted. So, just stay tuned. All right. We'll be right back. And for everyone watching this, we're having a town hall meeting at Government High School. And this is going to be for the Garden Hills constituency. Come out and hear what the candidate has to say what we have to say. It's from 6 to 8. It's going to be from 6. No, that's going to be on Thursday. All right. That's going to be on Thursday. So from 6 to 8 on Thursday, we're going to be there, just to talk about what's going on in the country and just to introduce the Bain people to our candidate, Ms. Aisha Claire. And so feel free to come on down and support us and be a part of what we're doing. Okay, they're bringing the FNM is bringing some actor down there to pretend that he cares about the people, but we need real change in the country. Um, the PLP has Oleg, who disrespected the whole Junkanoo community, and has so far, in my opinion, been a failure. And so we need a new direction. We need change. All right, and so we'll keep you up to date on all of those things. All right, so stay tuned. We're going to be uh, muted for a few minutes. Our Exuma trip has to be pushed back um, because when they planned the trip, they didn't realize that we have to sign into the police station on this Saturday. And so us fighting for the Bahamian people is affecting our election campaign. So we have to cancel the Exuma trip this weekend because we have to sign into the police station. And so they're going to push it back. We'll update you with the exact date on that, which will probably be not the next week because that's the Holy Week. It's going to be the week after that. Okay, so just stay tuned and keep up to date and come out. Make sure to come out and support. You know, that's your way of being there. Come support with your presence. All right. So we'll be right back.
Well, Mr. Lincoln Bain, I had to agree with you. I had to wait to agree with you until this shit happened. Well, I started working in the construction sector, and as you could see, I off today. I don't have nothing to do anymore because the Haitians get all the work now. The Haitians get all the construction jobs. So if you was a carpenter and you was work for 200 a day or even 150, you can't make that no more because the Haitians working for 100. So I understand what you're saying, Lincoln. I used to paint now, and I actually used to help work, but I can't get a helper spot right now because too much Haitians on the job. There's nowhere for me to work. But they say that the young Bahamian men lazy, they don't want to work, but this is why I ain't to work. And I used to skill painter, and it's hard for me to go on the site and find a skilled painter job because anywhere I go, they like $80 a day. Like, I'm a skilled painter, I have all my tools. Why you trying to give me? I just give him $80 a day. Hey boss, just make it. Yeah, I make it $80 a day. Oh, that's why, because Haitians taking over. That's well, Mr. Lincoln Bain, I had to agree.
Where more than 70% of those who are a part of our educational enterprise are the children of illegal immigrants. We have a problem that needs to be addressed. Brethren and sisters, there is a humane way, yes. There is a need for labor force, yes. But we are in an age where in a particular school in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, children of illegal immigrants lift up a particular flag and dare Bahamian students to pass that way because they declare that is their territory. This is what we are up against, and unless somebody is brave enough to say that
Amen.
has to be done,
Amen. Right, Seton.
what happens? For after all, we fought for the Bahamas, for Bahamians, and after 57 years, there ought to be a Bahamian people who are prepared to take charge and to decree and declare that while we celebrate what others have done and while we sympathize with the plight of others, we do not do so at our own peril, for we cannot cut off our nose to spite our face.
Off the chair. How I feel Mr. Kenny is excellent, is professional in his field, and he takes care of all issues.
I listen to hard coffee, but like to hear the various viewpoints and it helps.
Hard coffee is my show. Steve McKinney is my man.
Okay, hold on a second. You're challenging me. Let's come clean.
I'm not challenging
No.
Your show definitely seems to be very factual.
See some of that.
I believe you are very knowledgeable to help me with this issue.
I'm saying to you, I want to know which authority you're talking from that I'm wrong.
You don't make a very loose, vague statements.
Hard copy seeks to lay out the facts so that all behaviors and behaviors of God might understand.
When Steve talks, everybody listen. The government does move quick. Every daddy got this them with hard coffee, hard coffee, hard coffee. I'm coming with Steve McKinney. Steve means business. You know that for sure. On Mondays through Fridays, Steve will give you the score on hard coffee, hard coffee, hard coffee. I'm coming with Steve McKinney. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Welcome back. It's 6:50 right now in the country, and of course, later on this evening, we're gonna have some cool weather this evening. It's gonna be like 68 degrees tonight, so might get your blankets out and all that kind of stuff. But right now, we've got Lincoln Bain here in the studios with us today because we've been talking some sobering stuff about the immigration crisis and the police shootings and all kinds of crazy things that's been happening in our country. We need to find some new productivity. That's what we need in this country today. And of course, we want to now tackle a little bit of the healthcare issues in our country. Healthcare is a serious thing in the Bahamas these days. If you are not well and you end up being sick and to go to the hospital, it's a dreadful thing. Trust me, it's a dreadful thing. And as a result of that, now, there's no catastrophic care in our hospitals today. There's no national insurance to the point where you can have the kind of health care that can take care of your illness, whatever it is. The hospital is just in a despicable state.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We should be crying shame on the hospital authorities, and I mean the people who are the ministers of the government, the agencies of that place called the hospital. Everything is wrong over there. The nurses, they trying to get their thing sorted out with correct monies. The people who are the managers over there, the doctors. It's a bad situation. And we shouldn't be in this situation. This should not be the case for us in the Bahamas. The entire Bahamas is in this situation. And that's maddening. We've got to fix that hospital. We need to have change in this country. Because I keep telling you all, it doesn't appear as if the leaders presently involved in the actions of politics is serious about healthcare in the Bahamas. We got problems, man. Lincoln Bain, I know that you have a fantastic team on hand to deal with the healthcare issues in this matter. And Dr. Veronica McIver is expected to be in that change process right now because they're looking for her. They see her as a person who is really a definite person who should be somehow made to be in charge of that hospital right now
Hmm.
because that's how bad it is. And she is a dynamic person.
Yes.
She has done so many wonders for the people in the dialysis unit of that hospital.
Hmm.
I mean, it's incredible what she's done. Meanwhile, Brave Davis and, of course, Mr. Dowell, Dr. Dowell, who means well, I know he means well, but they can't get the job done. It does not seem to be a priority matter to have catastrophic health care in the Bahamas for the Bahamian people. Why is that? And how can we remedy this right now, going into the election season?
Yeah. So these gentlemen bamboozle, these parties bamboozle the Bahamian public every single election. They make you think that they have to qualify people to get things done, but these people can only do what their party wants to do. So don't get hyped up about the quality candidates if they're in the wrong party, because it doesn't matter what ability you have. If your party isn't interested in what you have the ability to do, then it's not going to get done. And so it didn't just start under this government. The previous government cabinet with Pintard and them, the prime minister was a doctor. He served at one point as the minister of health, right, when he had to. They had Dwayne Sands, who was a doctor, as the minister of health also. And you mean to tell me you couldn't build a hospital? Now here's the kicker. Ministers told us that they had the money in the bank this years before the election.
Mhm.
They had the money in the bank to build this multi-level hospital. Remember
I
that?
remember that. I remember that.
The money was in the bank.
Mhm.
It never came to fruition.
Mhm.
Vote for us the next time it can happen. But if you had the money in the bank, where the money gone? No one has asked for this money. You had the loan for this money, Steve. Ministers had the loan for the money. Where the money gone? Just like the IDB asked him to account for these loan monies, and he refused to account for these loan monies. So the hospital never built. The loan money disappear, and they break off running. Now the same F&M cabinet is telling you to come back. They want to come back. I want to to segue right while I'm on that and come back to health. Recently, all over the news, they said that they got a $2 million loan from the $20 million loan from the IDB
Yes.
to fix the flooding problem in Pinewood.
Mm-hmm.
$20 million loan. Now we know the bidding on this problem was $10 million, but they got a $20 million loan to fix the flooding problem. They even had a town hall meeting saying that they could fix the flooding problem. So if you have the money, how come no shovel gone in the ground yet? No government in the history of the world has put more shovel in the ground than this government. You couldn't even put the shovel in the ground in Pinewood? Where did this $20 million go, Pinewood? When the roader comes to your door, or the people working for him, because he's sending people, he ain't coming. I guess he's tired of getting run. When the roader comes to your door, I want you to ask him, where is the $20 million that they borrowed to fix the flooding problem in Pinewood? They use some of it for elections, giving out crumbs to people and vouchers and that kind of stuff, keeping you as beggars. And the rest, they could take. The road could be straight, y'all, because they got the 20 million. Do you see the work happening?
No, there's nothing happening.
Pinewood, run them. And when you put me in there, we could take that money back. The money is traceable. All money is digital. Wherever that money went, we could take that back. And we could fix the flooding problem. Not with that loan. We could make our homes pay for that. As F&M and PLP. And so I just wanted you all to stop getting swing from these same situations. They borrow the money to fix the Bahamian people problem. The Bahamian taxpayers have to pay that back.
Yes, we have to.
But the money ain't never materialized. The work has never materialized.
No shovel in the ground, nothing. And
I went through one corner in Pinewood. The PLP was campaigning through there, my brother. And in front of the house they was campaigning in, there was a pothole in the road, almost as big as a car. Your whole car could fall in that pothole. How you, in blue shirt, knocking on a person's door who have to drive past that hole or through that hole every single day and saying, vote for us?
What nerve?
Man, my problem is not with the politician, you know. My problem is with the people who would vote for them after they did stuff like this. Not only did our homes benefit from putting you in that situation, they made, probably $1 billion, right? Between them and the Pinewood Gardens Limited. They didn't give you your drains. They've been allowed to go all these years. And now that they don't have the responsibility, they borrowed the money so that you have to pay that back. You got to pay to fix that flooding problem and fix them roads. They still take the money and they ain't do nothing with it.
But you can fix Pinewood Gardens, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
You're going to be the person to represent Pinewood Gardens.
A young man from Pinewood is going to fix that. And I know LaRoda, I was at a funeral, I told them, I'm a young man from Pinewood. LaRoda tried to say that he was raised in Pinewood too. He moved into Pinewood in 1985. He was 20-something. All right? So he wasn't raised there. I was raised there. I moved there when I was 5 years old. He moved there as an adult, living with somebody. He lived there for a couple of years, and then he moved out. He wasn't raised there. He didn't grow up to that stress like I did. All right?
You know the people's problems.
I lived their problems. I still have a home there. So when they flood, I flood. All right? And so I just wanted people to realize that just like with that situation with Minister Pinta them, where the money for the hospital disappeared, the money to fix Pinewood problem has disappeared again. Because last time Kayla said it was on the Prime Minister's desk. And it still ain't happened. The F&M did nothing and the cowboy didn't fight for us. Put a real fighter there, Pinewood. Go ahead.
Understood. No, that's of course that person hung up just now.
So we were talking about the healthcare situation.
Yeah, the healthcare situation.
One of the major problems why the healthcare won't get fixed is because they're benefiting from us having to go and get private services elsewhere. My
I
su-
understand.
my suspicion is they're running out of medicine. They're not, because you get free medicine in there. They have the healthcare system where you get your medicine. But guess what? Dr. Darwell is in the medicine business. He has a pharmacy.
Oh
It's his
Lord.
wife, but that's him. They won.
Mm, mm.
And so I guess if we give away the medicine at the hospital, the pharmacies lose money. Payments, y'all better wake up. Every problem you have, they benefit from financially. And you shake the pom poms in love with your abusers, in love with your captors. That's called Stockholm Syndrome. You mean to tell me Dr. Darwell and Brave and them couldn't build a hospital? They talking about building one maternity clinic that they had to borrow money for? No, man. Y'all better wake up. Like I said, if you put the PLPF in them there, listen, don't cry. You take it because you asked for it.
Understood. Hi there. How are you doing? Good afternoon.
Good evening, Mr. McKinney. Good evening, Peace Nation, and good evening, Mr. Bain.
Good evening.
Mr. Bain, I know Steve is not used to me talking like this, but let me tell you something, sir. You damn right. Every problem that we have in this country, the politicians are benefiting from it. Mr. Bain, the healthcare problem is one of also of just mismanagement of public funds. The healthcare was offered multi-million dollars
Mm-hmm.
for supply to fix the healthcare problem at that hospital. So the check was written and given to the people. Mr. Bain in the Bahamas, you know what they did with the check? They paid people for overtime, and the little bit of medicine what they buy what couldn't be spread around to the foreigners, what didn't go to the clinics. They abused the money. They paid themselves. They paid for overtime, and they abused the money. The check was written. I have the exact figure that was on the check. We really need to stop going around in circles. But anyhow, a lot of things will be going on. God ain't saying it. Mr. Bain, all of your problems are just waiting for you to be solved. God has already chosen you as the champion for the Bahamian people. And this time, sir, I am telling you on the air, when he sent me to you with a message, listen, that man is not going to steal your constituency this time. He will not steal it this time. He did it last time. He's not going to do it this time. And I, too, also presented Mr. Laruda with a $10 million contract to fix Pinewood Garden and Napa Village flooding situation years ago. Me and my partner was rejected because we were not politically connected. But listen here, Bahamas be encouraged. God is watching what's happening. And what's happening in this administration and Trinidad, you'll never ask yourself the question, how come the two of them had their things in Bahamas? You sure one particular entity ain't paid for all of them? Just like Steve said, there's a lot of things we could say, but it probably will get us in problem.
Yeah.
But when you become the government, Mr. Bain, the airways will be open for people to speak honestly and don't have to worry or fear of being threatened or being hurt from anybody. And as far as the Haitian National is concerned, my brother, he has a plan for them. He had a plan for them 25 years ago. Nobody wanted to see it. You have a plan in your 2030 program. With your plan, his plan, don't worry about them talking. Just want all these problems to be fixed. You all be encouraged today, yeah? Everything can be fixed in God.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your call. Yep, that's our show basically. 4 minutes past 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and 68 degrees is the temperatures for the night. And we've had a nice little interview here today with Mr. Lincoln Bain, and we expect to have another interview by Friday with Mr. Harrison Thompson, and I'm going to talk with him, not live in the studio, but I'll talk with him and record him. He'll be back here that afternoon. So we will have that on as well. We're going to be talking more about those fraudulent passports and fraudulent this and fraudulent that and all the fraudulent documentation that these people have been having. for the most part in this country and bring it to some kind of head because we know it is very, very important at this particular time. So, Mr. Bain,
I just want to say this before you leave quickly, my brother. We're going to defend our polls. We're going to defend our democracy, but we need you to help us to do that.
Yes, sir.
We want every Bahamian stand on that line to election to talk to the people on the line with you.
Okay.
If they can't speak English, you let the representative know. You let us know. You see someone in a shirt like ours, you tell them, I've been talking to this person, they can't speak English. You let us know. Because this
That's
government
a good way
is
to police it too.
Yes, this government is making it so that they don't have to answer any questions or actually speak when they come in there. All right. And so it's going to be difficult for the observers to know or to speak to them. But
So
you are on the line.
You want the COI people to be talking with them. Straight true.
I want all Bahamians. You on the line, talk to the people on the line. The people in the front of you, in the back of you on the line, you talk to them. Because they're on the line. You make sure that person can speak English. If they can't speak English, you make that known. All right? I can't say much more than that. But you make that known.
Absolutely.
They have to explain, and I'm not just talking about how are you, because they will probably go and teach them a couple little basic little stuff. All right? Like Komatalevu and yeah. No, we want you to have a conversation with them. All right? Don't be afraid. This is your country. This is your nation. Don't tell us to defend it. You defend it too.
You better believe that.
And so when you go to them polls, you identify, you highlight, you let us know. You have people out there on the outside, and if you talking, see they could stop the person in the church from talking to the person on the line. They can't stop you. All right? Once you on that line to vote. So talk to them. And if they don't speak English, just let us know. That's all we can say for now.
I appreciate you being here today, my friend, and we wish you the very, very best of luck. We hope that you have every success, big time success in this country, and that God is with you and your people from the COI, because I think that at this particular point in time now, you guys are the chosen people to deal with the show that's actually happening right now. And some of us have just got to tie our heads around that because this is what is actually happening, and we can't do anything about it because God is in full control of what's happening. And I'm saying that to say this, that whatever happens in this election is going to be because of the efforts of one Lincoln Bain and his coalition of independents. You hear what I say?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. And I take that very, very soberly and seriously because I've been in concentration and prayers and stuff like that for months and months and months. And I could only get what I'm actually talking about all the time. And it's coming clear to me every single day. These guys, you better take them seriously. These guys should be taken seriously. And by that, I'm saying that to everyone in this country who are listening to the show today, the Lincoln Bain team must be taken very soberly and very serious today because they've got the answers, See, just ask yourself the other question. When Michael Dunn going to give you the answers? When is Brave going to give you the answers? He can't even answer anything himself, Brave Davis, right now, because he is caught up in the dilemma. And too many things are happening all around them one time. The fellows who have the answers are the COI. You may not believe that, but just watch me. You'll see. And that's our show for today here on the network. And we shall return tomorrow. And of course, we will come back again. When's it? That's Wednesday. And then, of course, on Thursday and then Friday, we have that show with Mr. Harrison Thompson. And that should be a show that tells us more about these fraudulent passports and the rest of it. And the numbers may be growing. I warn you this. The numbers maybe have grown. I tell you, there are a lot of things that you don't know. Trust me. You'll see. That's our show for the day. And we're going to say goodbye at this particular time.
You say you love me, you say you care. Everything seems foggy. Every year we digress. I know what I see, I know I don't need glasses. Ray Charles can see what you are doing to me. Even Michael Jackson can believe it. It's in my knees, laughing with disbelief. Oh Lord, help me contain this anger. I'm so frustrated from all the disappointments. So much misery in my country. Every time you see me, I say we got a 5-year plan. Lie. You treat the people like a sweetheart, your little side chick. You should have never made those empty promises. Now we married to you for 5 more years. Politicians, sweetheart in the people. Yes, mom, I got try to be polite, but these people treating us like a $2. You thought I was gonna say it. You said there was no way to make money from the natural resources. You told me I can benefit from the carbon credits. You lie. I'm living in a pocket that's a deaf man tired of hearing you speak. Cause only the good Lord above could help us. Y'all is streets by me as bad pay. For real you will lie. We want a divorce from all the misery and pain y'all cause. Yes sir, we want our country back. Now listen to the chorus. Politicians, sweetheart in the people. Yes, ma'am, I got try to be polite, but these people treating us like a $2. You thought I was gonna say it. We taking our country back. The car you drive, that's my expensive trips. We pay for that. The salary you make every year, guess what? I want every cent back. Everything you have was bought for you by our tax dollars. I love you too, but this was an easy breakup. Irreconcilable differences. Oh yeah. Oh back to the chorus. Politicians, sweetheart in the people. Yes, mama, I can try to be polite, but these people treating us like a $2. You thought I was gonna say it. Give me that pen. That's mine too.
This is Peace Radio.
Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget, our Garden Hills branch is having a little town hall meeting. They just want to introduce the candidate, answer questions. I'll be there, and so you can come through. It's an event that they had previously planned, and so come out and be there, be a part of what's going on. All right. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on Thursday. All right.
What's that?